What's good, y'all? It's your boy again, FiLtHYSwoLe. Hey, I have a real talk. It's been a while, so I'm really excited about this, man, because I want to keep the content coming, and I just want to keep spreading that positivity. I have my guest here, Will, and we're just going to talk on life, we're going to talk on culture, and we're going to talk about, as I like to try to do, getting out the struggle or what struggles, come our way and how do we get out of that. So without further ado, Will, go ahead and, man, just introduce a little bit about yourself, man. Like, you're from here, you're from somewhere else, right? A little bit about your culture, your identity.
Well, I am from Washington, been born and raised here. Well, actually I did spend 2 years when I was younger, lived in Hawaii.
Oh, shoot.
For about 2 years, but then most of my childhood upbringing's been in Washington.
Tight.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Do you remember anything about Hawaii, being out there for 2 years?
Oh yeah, it was a good time. I mean, it was just relaxed time, good.
Yeah.
As a kid, just chilling.
That's cool, man. So you were like little when you were out there?
Yeah, it was probably like 3rd to 4th grade.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was really young.
Yeah.
It was still a good time.
I'm curious, how different is Washington and Hawaii?
I'd say probably the schooling is really different. Like here you have like elementary, middle school, high school.
Yeah.
From there a lot of them do from elementary straight to high school. So it's all combined in one.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so that was probably the biggest difference. But other than that, even though you have like such big range of people from ages being in there, it still felt like it was normal school.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up, man. When you, with your childhood growing up in Washington, did you run into like any challenges or obstacles that really like kind of like, how do I put it, made schooling hard or, the transition hard?
So probably my biggest one is I had ADHD like really bad as a kid. So the mine was so bad they had to put me on medication and put me like in a special class. Yeah. Because I just couldn't focus. And when I was a kid, it wasn't like middle school is when it really started to kick in. So yeah, in middle school, but they had me on in the special ed class for like, I think it was like math and reading, but they made me take these pills that are like huge as like horse pills. Yeah. And I hated them so much that.
How huge you talking the pills? Hold on.
They were pretty that big.
Big motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So I hated so much taking it that I forced myself to focus more. And I eventually, in like a 6-month time in the same year that I got to middle school, I tested out of the special ed class.
In 6 months' time?
Yeah. And so when you do that, all your teachers have to come and say like, yeah, he's ready to be in normal classes. Yeah. And so that was probably like my biggest thing in middle school.
Wow. So hold on now. Sorry to cut you off, but like, well, shout out to you first of all for like drilling in the focus to get out of that situation. Not that it's bad to be in that situation, I'm saying? It's just different learning, right? At the same time, you did it because of the size of the pill and you hate taking it? Or was there other negative stuff coming?
Part of that was, but also, all your friends are in normal classes and you feel kind of embarrassed because when I grew up in middle school, like, yeah, people made fun of you being special ed class. So I didn't have that feeling. Yeah. And so that was also a big part of the reason why I wanted to get out. And so I just locked in and got out of there.
Dang. So those other reasons, embarrassment, wanting to be with the homies. And it's crazy you say that because I think to this day, I think it's still like that. I think there's people probably watching, I don't know if they got kids or they went through school too and knew somebody in the special ed, but it's like, like I remember going to school and they were joking like, oh, you ride the short bus. People would be doing that. And it's like, what?
I would say it's actually more acceptable now. Yeah. Like I see it's a lot more support for people, obviously with Down syndrome or just have special ed needs. That at least what I've seen is that people are more accepting of it. So back then it wasn't really acceptable. Kids would bully you, but now I think it's more acceptable. Like people are seeing like it's a norm. Yeah. It's not, they don't treat it more like as a disability like they used to. It's more of just like, hey, we just need to teach this kid a little bit more. You just need to find a different way to teach him.
Find a different way to teach him. Yeah. No, I like that. Gosh, and I hope it keeps going in that direction. Yeah. For sure, because that's a good direction to go in. Man, so ADHD, right, on that topic of it, You used to take pills. You don't take pills no more? No, take
No,
medication
I
now?
haven't taken them since when I was in middle school. That was like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang,
So
so you've been
I haven't
off
taken it in a long, long time.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to. I know when I need to be focused
Yeah.
and lock in, especially being an adult, living life.
Well, how'd you even start? How'd you even get diagnosed? Like, how did that even all that start? Like,
It started when I was probably in elementary school. They see I had like a big. I couldn't just stay focused at all
yeah,
in school, and so that's where elementary school is where my parents were like, okay, we need to get him tested and figure out what's going on.
yeah,
And so that's where it kind of started, and then from there I don't think I really got help when I was in elementary school until I hit middle school.
yeah.
Is when they started to really get the help for me that I needed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Got it. So they were picking up on something.
Yeah, because people didn't really know how to deal with it back then.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, they didn't know how to deal with people with ADHD.
Mm.
Because I think there's a lot of kids, even nowadays, that have ADHD. They're not dumb or special. It's just you got to catch their attention somehow. And
Yeah.
I think that all comes down to a teacher or the schooling system, how to figure out how to deal with them instead of putting kids on medication all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, to my knowledge, I feel like ADHD is a common like thing. Especially
Yeah.
now. I feel like it's even more.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for you, that's like really to hear. That's really empowering that you were able to pull that off. But that's not the case for anybody else. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you pulled like you said, you locked in and focused. But some people really can't do it the way you did it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you actually have ADHD? You feel like the teachers were talking out the ass?
I'm for sure I did. But it's just every person's different, so it depends how hard you want to get out of that situation. But I understand there's people that need more help to get out of it, so it's not always the same for everyone.
Yeah, man. Well, Dan, I appreciate you sharing that and giving that piece of your experience. And man, it's crazy too. Real quick, what's your ethnicity?
So I'm Thai, Korean, Costa Rican, and then Irish, Scottish, Welsh, German.
Oh, mix of things.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
When I see you, I see the Asian, right? So like it's wild too because like in your experience of school, right, for a hot moment, only 6 months, you're in the special ed class, special education, whatever, and you're also Asian. And I know there's that freaking stereotype, that's kind of crazy.
So people could see that I'm Asian, but since my last name is Ramirez, a lot of people would think I was Mexican.
Oh.
And so I did go through, probably in middle school was the biggest, where people are like, well, you roll with the Mexican side or you roll with the Asian side.
Whoa.
It was kind of like that when I went to school in Tacoma, at least. They kind of segregated at times.
Yeah.
But I've always been like, I like to click with everyone. So I never really picked a side.
Yeah. You were all about all sides.
I was like, dude, I'm like mixed with everything. Why am I going to pick a side?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's worked out since
That's real. That's what's up, man.
I mean, it's worked out since I've been through even high school to jobs. I never really picked a side like where I'm going to favor. I've always just been able to mix well with everyone.
That's a real talk message, y'all. That's really good. Hey, don't pick a side. Just just be a little bit about everything. But was there challenges in that though? With the identity of appearing the way you appear, people having this assumption, but then your last name throws it off. But not everybody knows your last name. They just see, they see how you look and they're like, bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, middle school was the biggest one because middle school you don't really know where you want to fall in. You're still learning yourself, and so people are just always like are gonna just pick like, oh, I'm gonna stick with Mexicans, I'm Mexican. I'm gonna stick with Asians, I'm Asian. Like, same thing. I'm gonna stick with the blacks, I'm black. But I mean, I think when I moved from middle school to high school, it wasn't like that. I'm not sure if that has to deal with the area and Washington I was in, or to where I was in high school. I think high school you have more of an understanding like what's the point of trying to segregate each other when you should just be hanging out with everyone, learn from everyone.
Dang. What do you say about the people who do choose to segregate or choose to only hang out with the crowd they feel the most comfortable in?
I mean, that's fine to each their own.
Yeah.
But it probably has, to me, I feel like it has to do with where you grew up in. So if let's say for example, like your parents, all they did was hang out with a certain,
Group of
like,
people.
with their own race,
Yeah.
that's how probably you're gonna grow up too. Like, if you only put yourself like, I should only hang out with these people, that's what you're gonna do.
That's what you're gonna do, and that's what you're gonna seek out.
Yeah.
Dang, that's deep, man.
Yeah.
That's some. I hear some truth in that though, man. I hope y'all taking something away. That yeah. Oh man. I mean, you got me thinking though. I want to dig. I want to get a little more real for you, and understand though. Like, for you personally, was there any like how do I put it like challenges with yourself, and how you identify with your own family culture and what the home you were growing up in, or do you feel like you were able like to come to this whole like nah, like I'm just part of everything, like
So, no, so my parents were very accepting of everything. So no matter what race you are, they're accepting.
Yeah.
So I especially saw it when, I hope Brian don't get mad when I say this, but like women that I dated, not always Asian. So I've always dated like different ethnicity women.
Yeah.
So they've always been accepting, and they've always instilled in us like, just because different skin color, don't treat them different, they're still human. And so I think that's where it kind of really started, and also them putting us in sports, especially like, if not school sports, but if you're going outside of school, like select
Like club
teams,
sports
club
and
sports,
stuff. Yeah.
that's when it really like showed that they didn't really care what
Yeah.
race you were with, because I played soccer, did wrestling in club.
Because you're part of a team.
Yeah, so everyone was a different ethnicity. Yeah. I mean, the only big challenge I think I saw was, unfortunately, like when I played soccer, the certain races want to stick with each other, even though we're on the same team. They didn't really want to work together.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
and it's just because it's more. I don't think it's more of your skin color. I think it's more of an ego. They're like, we're better than you at this sport, so we don't really need you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's, as far as my parents go, they never.
Got it. So you bring it back to your roots, your folks, and how they raised you.
Yeah.
And like you knew who you were, and you felt comfortable in your own skin, and then you felt comfortable just like connecting with different groups.
Yeah. Because like in high school, I used to do a lot of cultural dancing.
Oh,
so
tight.
I'm not Filipino or Samoan, but I did those cultural dances.
Oh, for real? Wow.
I explored and did it because it's not. I was curious, and it's the people I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm always curious about culture and how it is.
Yeah.
And what they believe in and what they do.
Nice.
So.
Man, that's awesome. In adulthood, was there anything that came out of just everything you learned and everything you experienced, like any different impacts with adulthood and working in the workplace, and stuff like that?
Biggest thing for me was learning your worth. Because I was stuck at a job before the one I'm at now, and I was there for almost 10 years and slaved away thinking that I was going to get promoted at this job.
Yeah.
But you see, depending, I guess, where you're at, it's all different. But for me, where I was at, I saw real quick how favoritism played a big part, how people just kiss ass to other supervisors, upper management. And so I got to a point.
Damn.
Got to a point that
You said kissing ass to management?
Yep. I mean, people. It's sad to say, but it's a real thing. Like, management does play favors. Even higher ups, they'll play favors who they want.
Right.
Who they want to promote.
Right.
So, it is sad to see that, but it happens.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn. It took a while to learn, but I learned eventually that it's just I need to leave for my own dignity. I can't keep slaving away at this job.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote: "Leave with your own dignity." Dignity.
Because I'll say, if you're stuck at a job,
Don't slave away.
That just doesn't value you.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a job. You'll find a job that'll value you. You will.
Find and work to value you. I think that's kind of, man, essential to hear right now in this day and age. With stuff going on. Man, we coming up on time, man. But you've been speaking on a lot. You shared a lot of just like amazing things. I appreciate you opening up and being so real with me and the viewers that tap into this. And I hope something's taken away. I mean, with covering, cultural differences, but also open arms to everybody, going to overcoming ADHD in your own style, but you know, being mindful that everybody has different types of ADHD, you know, like different variations of it.
Yeah.
And to in the workplace, like knowing your worth. Like you mentioned a lot of things, but is there something you want to leave for the viewers, for people tapping into this? What's something you want to say? Because it sounds like you overcome and triumph a lot in your life, and there's also been a lot of learning moments. Because you were in that job, you said, for quite a while before you were like, this ain't it.
Yeah.
So like, what would you like to leave with the viewers?
I think that's just the biggest thing is like just know your worth and value, because don't slave away because of money, because I think that's the biggest thing I learned at that old job. That was probably the main reason why I stayed. Pay is good, but if you know your value and worth, there's no job that's gonna pay you. Like, so that job I was stuck at, I did make good money, but when I left that job, I went to a different job. I took like a $7 pay cut. But how hungry you are as a person and how fast you want to grow, you'll get that money. Money will come to you.
Yeah.
I think what I learned most from that job is I don't chase money anymore. I let money come to me. I show my work ethic and what I can do, and that so far at this job it's worked. Because if you chase money, you're gonna, at least for me, you'll find yourself very stressed and unhappy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Folks with ADHD, anything you want to say to them? I don't know. I know something.
Just don't give up. Because just because you have ADHD doesn't mean you're useless or you have a learning disability. It just means you just work hard.
That's fire. Appreciate it, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy. Hey, I keep them coming, man. I hope there was something y'all could take away. Like, we had a lot of, like, just really, I don't know, to me, eye-opening stuff. Peace.